Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Kyle Richards is opening up about where she stands with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum Carlton Gebbia today after they had their differences on season 4. The update came during an Amazon live stream on October 9, where Kyle admitted that Carlton wasn't acting throughout the season. That was real, she served their drama. Yeah, that was real, she continued with a smile. Hence my not getting along with her. That was horrible. Talk about, negative. Oh my gosh. Kyle further admitted that RHOBH season 4 is not her favorite to look back on or relive. It's my least favorite season, she noted. Fans may recall that Kyle shared a similar sentiment during a February 2024 interview with the Daily Dish, during which she opened up about which RHOBH alums she still speaks to today, and which ones she does not talk to. Definitely not Carlton, she admitted. Kyle Richards attends Songwriters of North America Warrior Awards on October 12, 2025 in Los Angeles, California. Carlton Gebbia attends a kickoff party at the W Hollywood on May 17, 2017 in Hollywood, California. While Kyle won't be reminiscing on RHOBH Season 4, she also admitted that she doesn't know which RHOBH season is her favorite. The reason I don't know is because I guess my favorites are when there's the least drama, and then I don't really remember what those seasons were, she said. But she did admit to really loving going to Provence, France during RHOBH Season 9. We had a lot of fun moments in Provence, she said. And then in the earlier seasons we had a lot of fun things too. It kind of alternates. Since her time on RHOBH Season 4, Carlton has kept a much lower profile. In 2018, Carlton and her ex-husband, David Gebbia, finalized their divorce. Million-dollar listing Los Angeles, Josh Altman sold their castle-inspired home following the split. Carlton occasionally will post to Instagram where she is still getting up to witchy things. She most recently took to Instagram on October 1, where she posted a photo of 3 witches surrounding a cauldron. It's October witches. Broom's out, magic's up, she wrote in the caption of the post. Carlton, who currently lives in Miami, is also still a devoted mother to her 3 children, daughters Destiny and Mystery, and son Cross Gebbia. She appeared on an episode of Misunderstood with Rachel Uchitel on October 31, 2024, where she shared some major updates on all 3 of her children. Since coming to Miami and sort of settling in, my children live with me except for Destiny. She has her own place, Carlton explained at the time. But she's currently in Milan modeling and she's fightin', so beautiful and such an incredible artist. She further revealed that Mystery recently turned 21 and is pursuing her singing career and looking to form a rock band. It's sort of a mystical rock vibe, she explained. Her only son, Cross, is at school pursuing studies. But yeah, it's just lovely to witness my children on their own paths, which is sort of a new chapter in their story, Carlton concluded. The NBA is coming to NBC and Peacock with 100 games live all season long, including exclusive Monday night games on Peacock and Tuesdays on Peacock and NBC, and the premiere of Sunday Night Basketball in 2026. There's a certain irony to revisiting old drama through new words. The wounds may have closed, but scars remain, faint yet visible to those who know how to look. That's where Kyle Richards stands now, stepping into the light of truth, opening up about her turbulent season with Carlton Gebbia, a season she now calls horrible. In a recent Amazon live stream, Kyle didn't mince words. She insisted that the conflict between her and Carlton during season 4 was real. No manufactured tension, no producers pushing buttons, just raw friction played out on camera. She even went as far as to say that she has difficulty going back and watching that season, labeling it her least favorite to relive. She also reaffirmed that she doesn't speak to Carlton today, a fact she had noted before in earlier interviews. The absence of reconciliation is itself a statement. She's not revisiting the conflict now to heal, but to contextualize. That painful history still resides in her memory. Yet this older drama has not remained static. Over recent years, Carlton herself has publicly pushed back, describing Kyle as a different breed of vile, referring to her as narcissistic and accusing her of constructing a persona with no real inner core. That is much sharper rhetoric than we may recall from the show's original dialogues. That tension continues to ripple outward, even years later. From Kyle's vantage, though, there's something redemptive about speaking truth, even belatedly. The fact that she labels the season my least favorite suggests emotional distance. She is trying to put it behind her, but she also is acknowledging that at the time, she could not fully understand or control how deeply hurtful or negative the experience would be. This kind of retrospective reappraisal strikes me as one of the trickiest parts of life in the public eye. Actions and words once recorded, for cameras, tabloids, social media, cannot fully be erased. Over time, we, or at least those fortunate enough to self-reflect, see better what was immature, reactive, or unfair. Kyle's remark about how it was real flashes as a kind of redemption, not for past acts, but for the sincerity of emotion at the moment. One can imagine Kyle sitting at home, years later, watching those confrontations, cringing at her tone, wincing at her reactions, and perhaps trying to make sense of what she meant in those moments, and what she should have said instead. By labeling the season horrible, she's not just condemning a chapter, she's marking it as one she would rather not revisit. But she also reveals a certain empathy buried beneath the conflict. Her admission that the drama was real implies that she sees their friction as two authentic, flawed human beings colliding, not as one purely villain and one victim. In doing so, she softens the black and white narrative that reality TV often promulgates. Kyle also acknowledges that she's not sure which RHOBH season she does love. She says her favorites are the ones with the least drama, the ones she more easily forgets. That is telling. For her, the beauty of the show lies not in conflict, but in camaraderie, in ease and laughter, in moments you can look back on fondly rather than flinch over. And yet, the Carlton dynamic remains one of the more combustible, memorable arcs in RHOBH history. The clash was not just of personalities, but of worldview. Carlton's spiritual, mystical presence clashed frequently with the more grounded, domestic, socially oriented lives of the other cast members. The lines between belief and skepticism, between respect and ignorance, between public image and inner conviction, blurred and often snapped. Kyle's newer perspective does not erase the past, but it does reframe it. She accepts that that chapter hurt her, that it was real, and that she isn't eager to revisit it. That alone is an evolution from having to perform for the show to thinking about how the story feels to you years later. One takeaway from her admission is that healing, or at least reflection, doesn't always mean reconciliation. It might mean drawing clear lines. I don't speak to her, she says, but it can also mean telling the story on your terms, balancing regret and honesty, acknowledging mistakes without revisionism. Of course, this kind of public reassessment is never neutral. Fans and critics will watch the words as carefully as the original conflicts. Some may argue she's rewriting history. Others may see it as courage. But either way, the moment she re-engages with that horrible season is an invitation to revisit the narrative, not necessarily to spark new feud, but to deepen our understanding. In the end, Kyle's reclamation of her own storyline is creative. It's an experiment in self-narration, not ignoring the past, but contextualizing it, all while knowing it cannot be fully changed. She reveals vulnerability, intellect, and a touch of regret, acknowledging that the cameras captured not just her best self, but her imperfect self in the heat of conflict. Years later, for all its glare and spectacle, that season sits still in her memory. Her new remarks are a way of shining light on what was too dark to see clearly then. In so doing, she invites us, the viewers, the critics, the fans, to see the story anew, not just as tabloid drama, but as two people who collided, got hurt, and moved on, but not unscarred. If nothing else, this moment underscores how in stories, real or reality TV, time changes perspective. What once seemed sharp, cutting, clever, or justified often appears messier, sadder, or more human later. Kyle Richards, for her part, seems ready now to stand in that ambiguity, to own the regret, the pain, and the authenticity of a horrible chapter, and perhaps quietly to exit.